WFLA Now will begin momentarily. WFLA Now will begin momentarily. Streaming live on WFLA Now, powered by 1-800-ASK-GARY. Here's JV Buno.
A scaled-down search goes deeper into the Carlton Reserve, though not anywhere near as large as it once was, as the FBI and law enforcement press on in the manhunt for Brian Laundrie. Meanwhile, outside of the Laundrie home here in Northport, a TikTok group says they're going to be taken to the sky here any moment with a message for the Laundrie family. Hey there, folks. JV Buno here with you live on WFLA Now, getting a little bit of a later start here today. Grateful to have our YouTube audience here with us, and for those of you filing in here on YouTube, that's really the only other social media platform that we're live on right now because of the outages on Facebook and Instagram and WhatsApp. Great to have WFLA investigator Masa Saidi here with us for the next 10 minutes here, Masa. Let's start off here. I'll get into the Laundrie search here at the Carlton Reserve today from Eagle 8 HD's Paul Lamison, but I want to talk about all the potential sightings that have been out there, people saying that they have seen Brian Laundrie out there. What's been going on over the last 72 hours as far as sightings go?
So outside of some sightings here in Florida that we have heard about in the past, the new information this weekend was out of Haywood County. And the Haywood County Sheriff's Office tells me just about 10 minutes ago I hopped off the phone with them, and they told me that they've had 10 total calls in recent days, mostly this weekend, but also before this weekend again, people calling, thinking that they have spotted Brian Laundrie down near the Appalachian Trail. Now, I do want to point out that one call that has gotten a lot of attention happened this weekend, Saturday, at about 2:40 in the morning. The Haywood County Sheriff's Office tells me that they immediately dispatched 2 deputies. There was a man who claimed he had just run into Brian Laundrie, he believes, and that Brian Laundrie was in a white pickup truck. And I'm told that they were dispatched out to the North Carolina-Tennessee border. They encountered just one person, and it did not match the description of Brian Laundrie. But the Sheriff's Office says that they continue to respond and fully investigate all calls for service relating to the nationwide search for Mr. Laundrie. And just a couple of minutes ago, I got a 911 call that this person made right after they said, I saw him, I'm 99.99% sure that it was him.
Now it's worth noting that at the beginning of the 911 call, he says Brian Lauer, right? So the name isn't right. So that makes it's going to make some folks online wonder, Masa, if this person making this 911 call is in fact really up to speed on this story. Again, I think everyone around or across the country, really around the world, knows Brian Laundrie's name, and they start by making the 911 call. We'll play the 911 call here for you in a couple of minutes. We're letting the rest of our YouTube audience here kind of fill into the chat here, but to say Brian Lauer, but then say 99.9% sure that it was in fact Brian Laundrie, there's a little bit of a contradiction there.
And again, I want to just reaffirm the Sheriff's Office says they immediately dispatched 2 deputies. They thoroughly investigated this, and they said to no avail. They did not find Brian Laundrie, but they say that they're going to continue to look. But yeah, I mean, this happened at nightfall. So it would have been dark because it's, from midnight onward that this man says that he had this conversation with somebody who appeared to be Brian Laundrie in his pickup truck. So certainly that would be one thing that she would take into consideration, the amount of light available when they had this conversation. But he did immediately He says he pulled over, he stopped his truck, and he thought maybe that had been the guy, and he says he looked up pictures of Brian Laundrie, and that's when he claims that he was 99.99% sure, and he said that the guy was talking wild, talking about his girlfriend.
California, right?
Yeah, went heading to California. He was trying to take the back roads to California. It was about a 4-minute 911 call that we just received, that I just listened to, and dispatch, taking that information from him.
We'll play it back here for our audience here in just a moment, but Masa, I'll just express what I think about the 911 call and just about the Appalachian Trail potential sighting there. We have the information for you. It's on WFLA.com. It's an article, Brian Laundrie allegedly spotted by hiker near Appalachian Trail. I'm just not all that optimistic. Again, it's not as if Brian Laundrie has this extremely unique physical description or character, or these, this set of characteristics that make him easily identifiable. How many hikers on the Appalachian Trail, or just how many hikers or outdoorsmen in general, are going to have a pretty similar description to Brian Laundrie here? We've had potential sightings that have been quickly disproven over the last several weeks, and while this man again says that he's 99% sure, I would imagine that there were some others out there. How about the sighting in Canada that we were talking about, a couple of weeks ago, the potential sighting in Canada, and that was quickly disproven. It's just, everyone is on edge here, I think, with this story, and there's just so many people who want him to be found that it's almost like you're willing it into your eyesight to be true.
Yeah, and, again, the Haywood County Sheriff's Office says that they thoroughly investigated this tip and nothing came of this tip, but they also had 10 other calls in recent days of people thinking they spotted him. A lot of media coverage, a lot of news coverage, and people certainly on the lookout to try to find Brian Laundrie here.
For those of you just joining us here, we've got this video here in the center of your screen. This is from Eagle 8 HD, a scaled-down search here today at the Carlton Reserve, deeper into Carlton Reserve near Myakka River State Park here, Masa, but not as large as what we've seen in recent weeks. A scaled-down effort is the search effort here at the Carlton Reserve. You can see there, right there, Paul zooming in here on a canine that is at the front of this airboat here as they continue to keep their eyes peeled for Brian Laundrie here. So the search presses on here, but Masa, we're entering yet another week here, starting another week here, and people are just clamoring for developments, clamoring for updates. I think that's perhaps why so many folks have been really latched on to this hiker story, because right now, where we are in this particular 24-hour news cycle, this is really all we have right now to talk about, or we'll have more to talk about here in a few minutes as far as what TikTok has organized here over the Laundrie House here. More on that in just a second. But Masa just speaks to how many people out there just really want there to be developments in this story as we continue to go now several days into the month of October.
Yeah, tomorrow marks exactly 3 weeks since Brian Laundrie's parents say they last saw him, since he allegedly went into the swamp area that you're looking at right here, where we believe law enforcement is searching that video taken from earlier today. So yeah, exactly 3 weeks according to the parents since they saw Brian Laundrie. No answers from law enforcement. They haven't told us of any credible sightings that they've had yet. The FBI being very quiet with their investigation, as they usually are, but people definitely thirsty to have justice out there for Gabby, and obviously many believe that the key to that is finding where Brian Laundrie is. Gabby's mom tweeting this weekend, I know you saw this, JB, that she's getting angry, that she wants him to turn himself in. The Gabby pt2 Foundation Twitter being launched this weekend. So people want justice for Gabby, and the search for Brian continues.
Awesome. Before we let you go, a couple of our commenters here on YouTube. Hello there to our YouTube audience, commenting that it hasn't just been the single sighting here again by Dennis Davis. That there have been other calls, as you just found out. What was it? 10 others?
10 other, not just this weekend. She didn't give me the exact the days, but she said in recent days 10 total calls of sightings and people thinking that they ran into Brian Laundrie.
What are you working on for tonight? For our audience here, folks, you can watch our WFLA newscast, and Masa's going to be in our 5 and 6 o'clock newscast. That's your NBC station here in Tampa Bay, Florida. WFLA News Channel 8 on your side. Masa, what are folks going to see in the 5 o'clock and 6 o'clock newscast that they can also watch on our website and on our app?
At 5 o'clock, we're going to be just focused in on what the family is saying right now in the search that's happening here in Florida. At 6 o'clock, we're going to play that 911 video for you, which I believe JB's also going to play for you. He's not going to make you wait for that. And talk about just some of the sightings of Brian Laundrie and how each and every single one of those gets investigated as law enforcement tries to piece together a timeline, tries to solve this puzzle, this horrible case, this mystery that's happened here, JB.
Masa Saidi, you'll see her tonight, folks, on WFLA News Channel 8. Thanks a whole lot, Mas. Appreciate it. All right, everybody, back here with you live on WFLA now. So let's kind of break down what we're going to be having here for you over the next few minutes here, the next half hour or so here, everybody, on WFLA now. First and foremost, now, you might have seen some of the traction if you're on TikTok, and not everyone is on TikTok. But for those on TikTok, you might have seen an effort get underway here with a TikToker by the name of Justin Shepard. He goes by Justin on TikTok, and he and I spoke a little bit earlier on today, and the reason that he and I spoke was because he has been at he's been organizing, as he put it, or really just organizing a effort here to send a message to the Laundrie family from TikTok. Now, how this kind of came to be, and I'll explain this here for you folks, is that so many in the TikTok community have been talking about pt2, been talking about Brian Laundrie, and in a video that Justin had, they were talking about a banner plane, and that came up, and then all of a sudden, as he told me on the phone earlier today, he said that there were all of a sudden Venmo donations just continued to pour in, and before you knew it, there was a effort underway to get a banner plane in the air. So now everyone online on social media, with how few developments that there have been today, now gravitating towards this banner plane getting up in the air. We have, of course, we'll show you here from photojournalist Justin Rogers here. This is a live picture from outside of the Laundrie home there in Northport. I did get an update from Justin there on TikTok, and he passed along to me that they are running about 10 to 15 minutes behind, about to take off, but it's about 10 to 15 minutes behind. So in perhaps the next 5 or so minutes, maybe 10, there might be a banner plane with a message directly from TikTok to the Laundrie family here out at the home in Northport. And you can see there that Justin, who's listening in here on WFLA now, kind of just showing us the sky here, kind of panning up here. As soon as we see that plane, if that plane does actually arrive here, we'll show it here to you. But this is a live feed from right now outside of the Laundrie home. What we're also going to do is we're going to play the 911 call here for you folks, and we're also going to hear from Eagle 8 HD's Paul Lamison, who filed a report a short time ago. So let's talk about here, folks. This is an airboat with a K9 on it. This is far smaller than the search efforts that we have had here at the Carlton Reserve, but this is actually considerably farther northeast into Carlton Reserve. Really, I mean, right there at Myakka River State Park. And so there's no line that you're going to see, imaginary line that they kind of cross over from one area into the other, Carlton Reserve into Myakka River State Park. But there you see the search efforts ongoing here today. Again, the vast wilderness. The good news is that even though you can see that they are going here, with the airboat, the good news is that the water has receded considerably here. Conditions for a search are way more optimal now than they were 2 weeks ago when we were getting just battered with rain here in the Tampa Bay area. So the search is smaller, but conditions more conducive for a search here at the Carlton Reserve, and really just hoping here that we have just searches to talk about here, because if the search is to come to a conclusion here, then of course we have people asking, okay, if they're not searching here, then where are they searching? If the search isn't ongoing here, where is the search now for Brian Laundrie? And so, again, hoping here that there is some progress here. There's some developments that we can share, and we've been in standby mode all weekend long. For those of you who have been following me on my WFLA JB, Twitter and Facebook and Instagram accounts, I've been keeping you posted there, letting you know that we are in standby mode for any major developments here in this story. It was ready to come in this weekend, but nothing really occurred other than really the Gabby Petito family, more of the Gabby Petito family going and making Twitter accounts of their own and launching the Gabby Petito Foundation, which we will be talking about here momentarily. So let's send things over to Eagle 8 HD's Paul Lamison as we wait for things to occur here at the Northport home of the Laundrie family here a short time ago here, folks. Paul Lamison of Eagle 8 HD in the air over the search efforts here for Brian Laundrie at and near Mayaca River State Park.
Hey JB, yeah, we're out here in the Carlton Reserve. You're looking at an airboat, and they're cutting through some of the heavily swampy areas of the Carlton Reserve. Now on the front of the airboat, they do have a dog, and remember, they went to the house, the FBI got some items from the home, and those were to get DNA as well as the scent of Brian Laundrie to see if the dogs can actually hit on anything and find anything. I'm going to move the camera in close and show you. I mean, you see this is almost looks like grass, but there's water all throughout here, and the dog has been up and down on the boat. They haven't really stopped. They haven't hit on anything as far as we can tell, but we've been watching them now for a while, cutting through some of the deepest, heavily swamped areas out here in the Carlton Reserve. Here's a good shot as you see the dog on the front of the boat just basically along for the ride, seeing if they can pick up any kind of scent or anything that will lead them to finding any clues to Brian Laundrie. And again, they'll be out here searching almost every day. The crews aren't as big as what they were before. Now this is the only searchers we saw out here today. We did see a pickup truck, but it dropped off the people to get onto the airboat, and they've been doing this now for the last 40 minutes that we've been following them, and they'll continue doing this all day until they find a reason not to search anymore. But again, they are still out here in the Carlton Reserve searching for any signs that Brian Laundrie might have been here, or if he is still here, they're going to still continue to search out here for him. And again, we're closer to the Northport side of the reserve, but again, I'm going to move the camera out and show you, JB, just exactly what they're up against. You see there's a big line of trees, and then there's also water on the side as well. So as they go through here, it's pretty tough go. They're not really seeing anything. They're just hoping that the dog may be able to pick up a scent or something to give them anything to go by, because they've been out here searching now for a while. And there's a good shot of the dog, and they're going to be looking, and you see, as they go, he's looking for anything that he can key on with the scent. But right now they're out here in the middle, so JB, we're going to go ahead and throw it back to you, and these are the only searchers that we've seen out in this huge area of the Carlton Reserve. Back to you, JB.
Eagle 8 HD's Paul Lamison there for us, everybody, a short time ago when we had Eagle 8 HD in the sky there over the Carlton Reserve there. Give him a follow, folks, on social media. You can't follow him on Facebook and Instagram right now, clearly, because, of course, Facebook and Instagram are down. But give Paul, everybody, Paul Lamison, Eagle 8 HD, a follow on Twitter. Let's go live to outside of the house here. Justin Rogers was just kind of zoomed in here on somebody that has a lawn chair and a sign. It looks like they're even working on that sign here outside of the, there's Justin kind of zooming back in here for us, a sign here outside of the Laundrie home here, and this is nothing new. In fact, what we can do is let's just kind of listen in here for a second to see if we hear anything from outside of the Laundrie home. And you can hear there some commotion there in the background as a woman here is working on a sign, one of the many signs that we have seen out here in front of the Laundrie home there. Also, I am just completely honed into Brian Enton's voice. Brian Enton, a colleague of ours here at WFLA, and he reports, of course, for News Nation, but we are very much allies in the TV world, and I can hear Brian Enton there reporting. He might be live conversations with some folks here on the block outside of the laundry home here. Again, if there is any update here on a message in the sky above the laundry home here, again, a TikTok group organizing an effort here to get a banner plane over the house here. The time was supposed to be 3 o'clock over the house, but as of right now, it is 3:25 Eastern time, and as you can see there, just nothing but blue skies and a pretty day here. I mean, some palm trees and some fluffy white clouds there off in the distance over the laundry home here. So if there's any update as far as that plane over the house, I will of course pass it along here to you live on WFLA now. Okay, we also have that 911 call here for you folks. Now, we're going to play back the 911 call. You can listen to it on WFLA.com, the WFLA app. And let me just, again, make this very clear as to what this is. A hiker by the name of Dennis Davis said that he was 99% sure that the man that he encountered there near the Appalachian Trail was in fact Brian Laundrie, even though when he placed the 911 call, he said Brian Lauer at the beginning here. So what we're going to do here, folks, is we're going to play back some of the 911 call. And I want to feature some of your comments here, everybody, but this is not the best day to be featuring your hashtag HeyJB comments here. I'm going to do my best to reference a few that are coming in here in the WFLA Now YouTube live comment section, but our system that powers our animated graphics on screen, it's also down here. So we'll try our very best here to get that back operational, but right now I'm going to be completely honed in to the YouTube comment section. Let's see if I can slow down this chat here a little bit. It can be a little bit tricky to read some of the YouTube commentary here, but we're going to play back the 911 call here. I want you guys to listen in, and I'll try to read some of the comments here as we do. This is one more time. Dennis Davis, who said he was 99% sure that the man that he encountered while in a parking lot near the trail and had a short conversation with, he was 99% sure that it was Brian Laundrie. Here's the call that you can listen to on WFLA.com.
Haywood County 911, what's the location of your emergency?
Well, I'm on the highway right now, but I ran into Brian Lauer just a little while ago.
Okay, where did you see him at?
I was at the parking lot for the Appalachian Trail on the north side of Smokestack.
Okay, can you tell me, like, was you at an overlook? Are you there?
Hello?
Are you still there?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Yeah, you're probably going through the gorge. You lose service every now and then. So where did you see him at?
On Waterville Road.
Okay. And just on Waterville, or did you see him near a house? Did you see a mailbox?
He was driving a truck, and I stopped and talked to him.
Okay. Was he going up Waterville or back towards 40?
He was going away from 40.
Okay. What color truck?
It was a white truck. I think it was a Ford F-150. I'm not 100% sure of that. And it was kind of a newer model. It wasn't like an old beater. It was a newer truck.
Okay. And what makes you say that it was him?
Well, first off, I was making a U-turn and in the road, and he came up behind me and he slowed down and kind of flashed his lights, like telling me, "Oh, go ahead and go, and I'm going to wait for you." And as I turned around and I'm coming back by him, he's waving his arm out of his truck, like for me to slow down. And I pull up next to him. I'm getting ready to go through the tunnel here. Hold on 1 second.
Okay.
Can you still hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. So when I stopped and I was,
I think I lost you.
and he was talking wild. He said that his girlfriend loved him and he had to go out to California to see her. And he was asking me how to get to California. And I said, well, you can get on I-40 right there and drive west and you'll get there. And he said, no, I think I can go this way, and kind of left. But he was acting funny. And I wasn't sure about what he looked like. And then I went and parked and pulled up the photographs of him. And I'm 99.99% sure that was him.
Okay. I'm going to let my sergeant know, okay?
Okay.
Okay, can I have your name and phone number?
Here, the name and phone number is redacted by law
Your
enforcement.
phone number? Okay. Well, like I said, I'm going to pass this along to my sergeant, okay?
All right. I'll meet somebody out there if they want to. I'm telling you, it was him.
Okay. Well, like I said, I'll pass this along.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Haywood County 911, what's the location?
So, I'm sure it was him, are the words there from the 911 caller, who again on WFLA.com has reported there is Dennis Davis, who said, you heard him there, wasn't 99.9% sure, he said 99.99% sure that it was. But again, as a reminder here, and we'll listen here one more time, here's the beginning of that call.
Haywood County 911, what's the location of your emergency?
Well, I'm on the highway right now, but I ran into Brian Lauer.
Now, again, and I've talked about this at great length on stream. Brian Laundrie is an extremely complicated person to track down because of his physical description. He matches a lot of other very common physical descriptions out there. He's in mid-20s with a shaved head, and his facial hair could be either groomed, it could be scruffy, it could be grown in, or he could be clean-shaven. And really, he's not all that too unique-looking. So, I don't want to tell you not to believe Dennis Davis, but I also am going to tell you here, don't believe him based on what we know at this stage with the 911 call and where we are here, because we just don't know whether or not this is a credible source of information. So you can't believe him, and you can't not believe him. And so we'll, of course, keep you posted if any traction occurs there as far as this 911 call near at the parking lot near the trail here. I really would love for this to be something credible that law enforcement could go off of, and we don't know at this time whether or not the FBI deems this as a credible tip or a non-credible tip. We don't know if the FBI has investigated this or not investigated this, but we just know here at this time that that this is something that is receiving a whole lot of attention online, because you can hear in his voice that he has a high level of certainty that he did see Brian Laundrie. So there you have the 911 call, and again, you can listen to it in its entirety on WFLA.com and the WFLA app. Also worth noting that now, according to Davis, he says that that the man that he encountered said, "Me and my girlfriend had a fight, and man, I love her, and she called me, and I need to get out to California to see her." And that, of course, could just be erroneous information that was given deliberately to try to, of course, Brian Laundrie doesn't want to be found. So if it was him, he's just trying to, of course, say something to this person, Davis, Mr. Davis, to kind of throw off that it's not in fact him. in fact, the most wanted person in America right now. But again, what do you guys think here? Okay, so here's what I'm going to do, folks. YouTube is particularly difficult without assistance here to pluck comments out of. So if you use hashtag HeyJB on Twitter, that is really easy for me to read your comments. So I'm going to ask, I know that we have a lot of folks watching on YouTube, and I hate to ask you to go over to a different platform, but if you really want me to read your question or your comment or what you thought of the 911 call, your reaction to the 911 call, please go over to Twitter and file in your tweet with hashtag HeyJB, and then what I can do is I can read it way more easily here. I know that the YouTube comment section just is filled with a lot of comments that have nothing to do with the Brian Laundrie search or with Gabby Petito. And yeah, I see it right now, and it's extremely difficult there. And my apologies for those on YouTube that are really trying to get their comments through. But I'm telling you that if you really want your comments to come through, use hashtag HeyJB on Twitter, and I'll read some of the comments that are coming in. In the meantime here, I will read a comment here that came in a short time ago from Austin Luff on Twitter. Hashtag HeyJB. Why do you think that they are still searching this reserve? I think because that they, at one point in this investigation, or maybe still, have really solid evidence. You don't commit this much manpower and this much resources over a 3-week period to search this area unless you have a really, really credible lead to go off of that leads you to believe that Brian Laundrie was or is here at the Carlton Reserve or somewhere near Myakkahatchee. So why do you think they're still searching there? Because they're doing their due diligence. But it is worth noting that they did scale back these search efforts considerably to where Eagle 8 HD flew over the area here, and we could only find really just a couple of crews and some vehicles and some sparsely located vehicles around the reserve, and really this one airboat here going a little bit deeper, more northeast into the reserve itself. But yeah, I would imagine that that nothing new has come in likely recently, and the reason being is because if there was something new that came in that led them to believe that Brian Laundrie could be at Carlton Reserve, that you would see search crews and you would see the amount of manpower here increase their presence here at the Carlton Reserve. We'll look for some new comments here coming in on Twitter. Big shout out to Michael Springer at Mikey Spring 303. He didn't even say Laundrie's name correctly. Kind of a hard name to mispronounce. Makes me feel this lead isn't credible. Hashtag HeyJB from, again, Michael Springer. That was my gut instinct too. If you're really up to speed on this story and you've been following it as much as many Americans have, and really many of you around the world have been following this story, you would of course, you would think that he would make the 911 call and scream at the top of his lungs, "I just saw Brian Laundrie," but he says that it was Brian Lauer. And I just being in the news business, I of course just think of Matt Lauer. But you would think that, yeah, Michael is in line with my thinking here. He didn't even, again, Michael Springer, he didn't even say the Laundrie's name correctly. So, let's see. We need a hug. A pretty penguin on Twitter, hashtag HeyJB, hashtag WFLA now. He's on the run. I doubt he'd talk to a stranger, and California isn't that hard to find. If you're somebody who is the focal point of a nationwide manhunt, and everyone out there is looking for you, are you going to voluntarily just kind of talk to a stranger? I'm not. I wouldn't do that. I'm doing everything that I can to conceal my identity and only talk to random folks wherever I am when it's an absolute necessity and potentially life or death situation where I need something. Because right now, everyone is looking for Brian Laundrie, and he is nowhere to be found. And again, there have been so many super lookalikes, like hyper lookalikes out there. And right now, there's just so many leads out there and calls that are coming in about, oh, he could be here, could be there. The trail cam in Alabama, remember we were talking about? There was a potential sighting in northeast Florida near the Jacksonville area. Of course, we were talking about Canada. There was one in Mexico. There's been blurry pictures everywhere. And You know, we don't need blurry pictures. I'm sick of seeing blurry pictures. Hey, this is Brian Laundrie. No, we need really good, credible photo, video evidence that Brian Laundrie is in place A or in place B. Again, live here for you folks outside of the laundry home here. I was given an update here, passed along here to me that the banner plane that TikTok has that effort that has come together on TikTok to fly a banner plane over the house here today has been delayed, but could be again occurring here sometime in the next 10 minutes, I was told. Sometime in the next 10 minutes. I don't know if that is true. I'm just passing along here from, again, I've given a lot of shout-outs here on this stream, a lot of shout-outs to the TikTok community. There is, of course, landmines of information, of misinformation on TikTok, but there's also some folks really trying to do some good. And again, I spoke to Justin Shepard, one of the organizers behind this, and one woman, he told me that one woman made a donation of more than $1,000 to get this plane airborne, and here it might be. Live here on WFLA now from above the laundry home here, Justin Rogers photo, and there is the banner. So TikTok, this is the banner that has come together on that social media platform on TikTok here, and we'll see if we can read out exactly what it says. Let's listen in. I will note this is a tricky job for Justin Rogers, but oh, he's right on it. There you can see it. Justice for Gabby. TikTok, time's up. Again, this was a organized effort by a few on TikTok here. Organizing that effort was Justin Shepard, Justin on TikTok. And again here, this is, he just received, he told me earlier today on the phone, he said that he had received just an overwhelming amount of donations to where he felt like he wanted to do something to organize an effort to where TikTok and that community specifically could send a message to the laundry family there here in Northport. And there you see the banner plane, and it reads, again, it'll circle back around here, folks. It reads, Justice for Gabby, TikTok, time's up. Let's listen in.
Hope it's over soon. At least it's not the summertime, could be worse.
A group on TikTok airing a message quite literally to the Laundrie family. A banner plane organized by a group on TikTok calling for justice for Gabby, saying in the banner message, TikTok, time's up. Hey there, folks. JB Buno engaging a new digital audience here live on WFLA Now. Great to have you here with us this Monday afternoon here. You can see there the banner playing. Justice for Gabby. TikTok, time's up here. I'm going to give you some details here on this effort that, again, was organized on the social media platform TikTok here. And we'll show you some, that plane right now is continuing to circle over the Laundrie home and will do so for 2 hours. That's what the TikTok group with Justin Shepard, Justin on TikTok, helping lead and organize this effort here. Here it is live. Let's go live here and listen in here for a moment. I spoke to TikToker Justin51982 this morning. He goes by Justin on TikTok. And Justin and I had a conversation here about why this was happening and why this was the talk of social media this morning as far as this banner plane effort being organized here. And there are so many folks on TikTok with who've been, passionately following this story and who have wanted to do something to speak out and support the Justice for Gabby cause. And Justin, in one of his TikTok videos, talked about a possible sighting of a banner plane, and they didn't know whether or not it was real or if it was fake. It was just something that they saw online that looked like it could have been a banner plane. But then it became, okay, why aren't we actually doing a banner plane? You know how the internet is. Once they, of course, come up with an idea, it immediately becomes, hey, let's actually do it. Why are we talking about it? Why don't we actually do something? And so soon thereafter, Justin told me this morning that he had all of these Venmo donations coming in. A lot of Venmo donations, including from one woman who made a Venmo donation of $1,169, a follower of Justin's on TikTok, and that was nearly half the amount necessary to get this plane airborne here, and they paid for 2 hours. 2 hours. So if you're Chris and Roberta Laundrie, for the next 2 hours, you're going to hear this plane buzzing around in the sky above their home here in Northport, Florida, and if you look outside, you're going to see this banner plane with this message that reads, Justice for Gabby, TikTok, time's up. I asked Justin a little bit, let's go back here live. I asked Justin, I said, why this message? And he actually put it to his audience, and he said, what should we put in this banner message? And he said, Justice for Gabby was a pretty easy go-to, and then a bunch of ideas came in, and it was kind of a collaborative effort, and they said, we're going to go with TikTok, time's up. So take that for what you will here, folks. A couple quotes here from Justin. He said, I asked him, I said, why has this story gained so much a massive following on social media? And he goes, so many people have made a connection to Gabby, someone who just had a vibrant life. And he says, quote unquote, this whole thing is suspect. And that's why he thinks that there's been a sizable following here on TikTok and on other social media platforms as to the Gabby Petito story and of the Brian Laundrie surge. As you're looking here live outside of the house, let's just kind of listen in. Justin Rogers, we're going to turn up your mic here for just a moment. Turn up your audio and just listen in.
You wouldn't be dead right now. You have blood on your hands. You have blood on your hands. We will never forget you're making matters worse. You don't deserve mercy. You don't deserve mercy. Gabby's life matters.
I'd like to take a moment here as well just to give a shout out for those folks on TikTok that have really been committed to carrying the conversation forward and also having some additional conversations, some difficult conversations that have arisen over the course of the Gabby Petito story coverage here. There's some great folks out there on TikTok and that are really trying to make a difference. And while we know that there's a lot of misinformation out there, and we trust and we try to trust as many good folks out there as possible to come forward with good information, we know that there's not a lot of vetting going on TikTok. But I just want to personally here just speak to the TikTok community. There's so many people out there that are trying to make a difference, do the right thing, and really just wanted to give those folks some of the recognition that they deserve here. And this is an effort here that has organically come from TikTok. And whether or not there are going to be some people out there that think that this is just too much, some people out there that are going to think that that they agree with this. All I'm going to pass along here to you is that I know that there are some people out there on TikTok that have been trying to make a big difference here with this story, and this is a culmination of them saying, what can we do here from wherever they are? If maybe you're a TikToker on the West Coast, or maybe you're a TikToker on the other side of the world, what can we do here to stand up for the Justice for Gabby cause? And this is what you're seeing as a result of that. A banner plane flying for 2 hours now, 2 hours, really the next hour and 45 minutes here over the home here in Northport, Florida. And it again reads, Justice for Gabby. TikTok time is up. Great work here by our WFLA photojournalist Justin Rogers, one of the best here in Florida, providing us here with some very steady video here on the ground. This is extremely hard to do from Justin's vantage point. So Justin Rogers doing an outstanding job getting us some live video here from outside of the laundry home. One more time, what I'm going to do here, we're going to continue to listen in here for a moment. I want everyone to be able to hear what's going on. I want you to be able to kind of feel like you're on the street here, because there's so many people that wish that they could be here and have indicated to me in the comments, I wish that I could go out there to Florida, but I can't be here for this reason or that reason. I want to just kind of go there here so you can listen in. In the meantime, I'm going to spend the next 3 minutes here, everybody, reading your hashtag HeyJB comments on Twitter. Facebook's down, Instagram's down, YouTube is really hard because there's just so many non-Brian Laundrie, non-Gabby Petito comments there. So I'm going to go now to Twitter and look for your hashtag HeyJB comments. We'll continue to monitor this feed here from WFLA photojournalist Justin Rogers.
Justice for Gabby.
with you live, everybody, on WFLA now as we continue to look here at the Justice for Gabby TikTok Time's Up banner that is now going to be flying over the house here for the next really, hour and a half, maybe till about 5:30 or so Eastern time here. That's what we were indicated by the group that put this together. And one more time, that being Justin on TikTok, his tag, Justin51982. He said this all came together and that he wanted to reiterate that this wasn't as much about him. He put together about 1% of the amount of money that was necessary to get this plane airborne. It was 99% funded by just people who follow him and people that are on TikTok that wanted to do something collaboratively here to support the Justice for Gabby cause. You can see here that we have now started to bring in some of the Twitter comments here as promised. You can use hashtag HeyJB and we'll bring up some of the Twitter commentary here. And Kathleen Calder, hashtag HeyJB. Brian gave Mr. Davis information to send law enforcement on another wrong path. He would never give the real information. My guess is he's heading east. P.S. Hi from Scotland. This is some of the commentary that's out there right now. Some people who believe and have come to believe that that tip about the Appalachian Trail and the 911 call that we just played, that was all intentional misdirection. But we have no evidence right now to support that. We have no evidence to support that it was Brian Laundrie. We have no evidence to support whether or not that Mr. Davis actually did in fact see somebody that matches his description. We just have the 911 call and the word of a man who was there near the parking lot for the Appalachian Trail there here in the United States. But hello to Kathleen joining us, everybody from Scotland. How about Andrea? Again, we're featuring your Twitter comments here with hashtag HJB. Andrea is saying hashtag HJB. The fact that he got Brian's name wrong could make it more credible. It means he isn't heavily invested and wasn't necessarily looking for Brian at every turn. Okay, that's the opinion of Andrea, one of our unknown Andrea here, one of our Twitter followers here. So very interesting here that she thinks that actually the 911 call beginning with hey, I just saw Brian Lauer makes it more credible of a claim here by Mr. Davis. Let's get to this one here from Jody Jelly, hashtag HJB. I think the plane is brilliant. I just hope they see it. I wonder, by now, we've been at this now for about half an hour or so, does Chris and Roberta Laundrie know that there's a banner plane flying around outside of their home here with Justice for Gabby TikTok Time's Up on it? I'd be very, very curious to know. How about my Inside Voice 31 at WFLAJB, and yes, that's my Twitter handle, hashtag HJB. At what point are the protesters, and I guess maybe even this plane, considered harassment? So we've talked here on stream about the noise ordinance there, about the megaphones that have been used, and about how people have been shouting at pretty much every hour of the day outside of the Laundrie home here. I don't think that there's anything illegal about this as far as flying a banner here over top the house. So I don't necessarily think that the plane is going to be considered harassment. It was an effort that was organized, and they're just taking up airspace. There's no TFR issued here over the house, so they have every right to be here in this airspace and execute their constitutional right to freedom of speech here. But the protesting and the demonstrations that have occurred on the block can be considered harassment if it goes overboard, and overboard maybe by means of messaging, by the audio level of the actual the volume, if you will, of the megaphones and all the shouting that has been going on. So there could be, and that's why I think that it could be considered harassment. I think that's why we've seen police pay so close of attention to the Laundrie home, in addition to a variety of course, other reasons here. Michelle Diane, hashtag HeyJB. Do you think that the reason the boat... Let's go back live here, by the way. This is repeating video. Let's go live. This is live from Justin Rogers' camera here. Everybody's continuously pointing his camera. Can you imagine Justin right now? He's pointing the camera there in the sky here. We'll take down the Twitter comment. He's pointing his camera in the sky and staying with this banner plane here for us to give you guys a view. So a big round of applause here for Justin Rogers, because he's just it's quite literally the moving target to continuously be following this banner plane to provide you guys with this live feed here from Northport, Florida. But back to the tweet. Michelle, Diane, hashtag AJB, do you think that the reason the boat searching for Brian Laundrie has a canine on it is because they know he's in that swamp? And quite frankly, we just don't know. We don't know what they have, Michelle, as far as evidence and why the canine is there. But again, let's not forget too that the canine units here in Florida, they also have additional belongings of Brian Laundrie's, because Stephen Bertolino confirmed to us that last week that the crews that were there at the house, the FBI that was here at the house, they collected belongings to assist in canine searches here in Florida, or canine searches just in general. But they might, has the dog picked up on the scent there? Has the dog found something there that leads them to believe that Carlton Reserve is the place? I think that a majority of our audience here says that doesn't believe that he is at Carlton Reserve now, but it's worth pointing out that that they do have the airboat there today and a canine unit there as well. Barbara, hello, Julie, says watching the flyover at the laundries from Pennsylvania. Hello there, Julie, and hello to everybody watching from the great state of Pennsylvania. I used to live not too far away. Hashtag AJB, do you think that this case is fast getting cold? Well, how many times in history have we seen a case just have hit a fever pitch of attention, and then all of a sudden it becomes a cold case? It's a slippery slope. And do I think that the case is getting cold, fast getting cold? I don't necessarily think so at this time. However, could this be something that extends for weeks, months, years? Yeah, we have to all consider that possibility. But I'd like to think, and I asked my WFLAJB Instagram audience and the Facebook and Twitter followers out there this morning, right when I woke up this morning as I was getting ready for work, I basically put out there, is this the week that we're going to find Brian Laundrie? How's everybody feeling out there? And I think that there was a lot of optimism, just tremendous optimism and a lot of confidence in law enforcement to get things done. But let's not forget too that it also falls on us, the public, to keep our eyes peeled. Myrna, thanks a lot for that comment there. Ronnie Jones, hello Ronnie. Hashtag AJB, how serious is the tip of him being at the Appalachian Trail? I think it's up to you guys to determine that for yourselves. You heard the 911 call, and I'd be very curious to think whether or not you think that's credible or non-credible, but he said with 99.99% certainty that it was Brian Laundrie, or Brian Lauer, as we've talked about here. So how serious is it? I think it's as serious as every other tip that we have had previously. But let's not forget that the other tips at least had a photo. This tip at the Appalachian Trail has just the words of one human being, the claim of one man, talking about the sighting of another man. So how serious is it? As serious as some of the others. And that's all we can say at this time. Joseph Rodriguez, hello there, Joseph. Hashtag AJB, is the current pandemic a factor in helping Brian hide in plain sight? He really just needs a ball cap, shades, and a mask, and he can go where he pleases undetected. Yeah, Joseph, you might have been watching our streams, because this is something that I've been saying now for weeks. The pandemic can assist somebody in staying covert, assist somebody in keeping their identity concealed. How about Sharon, hashtag AJB, media needs to focus more on Brian Laundrie's walk, tattoos, and teeth, things not easily altered like his facial hair, and are also unique to him. Very interesting here. And I'll kind of share something with you guys. I shot a note this morning to the FBI, and in that note I said I requested an advanced description of Brian Laundrie, the most super hyper specific description that we can get of his characteristics. There have been some people who have been pointing out even things to like the shape of his ear. People online who have been pointing out his tattoos. Yes, his tattoos, which are permanent tattoos, by the way, on his hands. The vines on his hand, they are permanent tattoos that I have confirmed from Northport Police. He does have a bit of a unique kind of a walk that you can see from his social media profile. His teeth is, I would need more specifics from the FBI as to what makes his teeth unique. But if there's anybody out there who thinks that they have a more specific description as to his teeth, you can use hashtag HeyJB. I'll bring up your comment here. I have emailed the FBI. I shot a note to the FBI saying we need more. Of course we have his height and his weight and his birthday and his hair color and his eye color, all that. We have that. We've had that for weeks. But we need something now more to aid the public and also to get rid of the erroneous sightings that are out there. If there is that one unique physical characteristic to Brian Laundrie, we need to know about it. It could be a birthmark. It could be a scar from when he was a child. But we need it credibly from the FBI. And until we do, it's hard for us to really pinpoint what characteristics. Now, listen, there have been online videos, people combing through every image, looking at, like, literally zooming in and going as high res on some of these photos as possible, or really low res when you zoom in. And I've seen those videos, and there's some great folks on Twitter and on YouTube and on TikTok that are doing that kind of work. But I think it's really important that we hear from the FBI to give us an advanced, hyper-specific description as to some of the things that the mainstream media, if you will, has not been talking about as far as Brian Laundrie and his description, so that it aids the public and then in turn aids the FBI in getting credible tips. Sharon, thanks a lot. GA girl, and I would imagine that's Georgia girl, 1963. People need to look for Brian's tattoos. The tattoos that are vines are on both hands, and they are permanent tattoos, according to Northport Police. Let's take one more here, folks. We'll take one more. Why not start the search in and around the Appalachian Trail, North Carolina area, especially since there are so many sightings there. And this is coming from Bethany. Hello there to Bethany on Twitter with hashtag HeyJB. So there's nothing to say that there isn't a search going on right now at the Appalachian Trail. The FBI could be there and could be very discreet about their search efforts. They could have been looking there for weeks. We just don't know. The FBI, again, isn't going to telegraph to the world and broadcast to everybody and show up with their FBI vests on and in full uniform when they go to search a location. And even if they did, they could be investigating another case that has absolutely nothing to do with Brian Laundrie. So it's hard for us to say whether or not they have and have not searched. But Bethany, I think it's entirely possible that area has been considered and / or actively searched at this stage of where we are in the Brian Laundrie manhunt here. I appreciate a lot of the comments and questions that have been coming in here. I'll look for some more. Let's go back live. Another 3 minutes with photojournalist Justin Rogers here, everybody, following the banner that has been organized by TikTok, the banner playing here outside of the home of the Laundries in Northport, Florida. I'll look for your hashtag HeyJB tweets starting now. taking your hashtag HJB Twitter comments or your tweets here for the next few minutes. And if any developments occur outside of the laundry home here or elsewhere here in Florida, we'll let you know about it. But again, here is the Justice for Gabby TikTok Time's Up banner that is being flown here for the next hour or so, hour plus, around the home of Brian Laundrie here. This has sparked a lot of reaction online. I've been reading some of your reaction online. Most of the reaction is positive to this. People that just want there to be more for the Justice for Gabby cause. There's also been some negative comments towards the banner playing here, and we're going to get into that here over the next several minutes here with you on WFLA Now. I can only feature comments and questions that use our hashtag system, so we'll use hashtag HJB, and let's get to it here from Luck Hurts. We're going to start here from Luck Hurts, hashtag HJB. There is a town named California in North Carolina. The guy Mr. Davis encountered was most likely referring to the town, not the state. It's not as far from that area and can be accessed via back roads. And yeah, I've seen this comment pointed out a bunch of times here, and that's good to know. As far as North Carolina, I've only been a few times to North Carolina. Great area, great state rather, but that's good to know here as far as, and I've seen others here, Luck Hurts, as far as pointing this out to me that there is also a town in California, in North Carolina called California, North Carolina. Hashtag HJB, some people who have been commenting based on the physical description and again, on us calling for more specifics from the FBI on the physical description of Brian Laundrie. Hashtag HJB, he has a scar under his left eye and two right upper front teeth that are slightly crooked. Watching the banner fly from my TV in Massachusetts. Hello there to you, Kelly. Thank you for watching from Massachusetts, but I also want to point this out here to you too. So then Ricky is here saying hashtag HJB, Brian's tooth is chipped, and that's why it's a special feature on him. So here we have one tweeter saying that the teeth are slightly crooked, and one saying that it's chipped, and both could be true, but I want to just point out here that this is why I called on the FBI this morning to release a super specific description of Brian Laundrie that goes beyond height, weight, birth date, and eye color and hair color. Let's get to this one here from Amanda, hashtag HJB, has there been any sign of his sister since the news last week? Cassie Laundrie, and I think there's some more comments here in the queue on this. Cassie Laundrie has not been seen really by anybody since that Good Morning America interview that was, of course, the subject of a whole lot of attention this weekend. More on that in just a second. Alexis here, hashtag HJB. To this date, what are your thoughts? Do you think Brian will ever be found? How are you feeling about this whole thing? I've lost sleep because I'm so invested. It'd be nice to hear your thoughts. My thoughts are always going to be based on fact. And the fact of the matter is that Brian Laundrie right now is charged with use of unauthorized access devices connected to the claim of credit card fraud, but he has not been charged in connection with Gabby Petito's homicide. And I know that people have lost sleep over this and they want answers and they want so much more. I'm going to, of course, always come back to the facts of the case, but I do have high confidence in law enforcement that Brian Laundrie will be found here. He is a wanted person. He's wanted, and he is still the subject of a missing persons case here in Florida that was originally, of course, filed by the family, and the family said to be cooperating with police as much as they can, and have been cooperating with police as far as it being a missing persons case. But do I think he'll ever be found? I do. I'm a glass half full kind of a person, but I don't know when. No one does. But I reference back to our expert roundtable from Friday, and I've had more conversation with various experts in their fields on law enforcement and on missing persons cases. And when it comes to something of this magnitude as far as Brian Laundrie, the one thing I keep hearing from the experts, not me, from the experts, is that it takes one mistake. And all it takes is one mistake. And I've heard that saying uttered many times by different individuals that are experts in their fields, that it's just a matter of time, in their estimation, that Brian Laundrie slips and makes a mistake, and then of course he is on the radar of law enforcement. So we don't know if that has happened already. We don't know if that's going to happen in the not too distant future, but that's just an interesting observation from some of the experts that I've talked to as far as where things stand now. Donna Profit, hashtag HJB watching from the UK. I hope they find him. And just a big shout out to the UK audience watching from across the way, across the Atlantic. Just a lot of folks from the UK who've been following this story and following it with every twist and turn. Elise Meserve, hashtag HeyJB. Also keep an eye out for his hairline. I'll scroll down here. His hairline. Lots of sightings are ruled out because of his odd hairline. Pause this image from Gabby's Instagram here. So there you see the hairline here, and take that for what you will, folks. I would imagine that it's a bit of a unique hairline for somebody who is in their early 20s, but Elise, thank you for pointing it out. Sarah Hart, hashtag HJB. Wouldn't it be better to donate the money from this plane to Gabby's foundation? The Gabby Petito Foundation launched over the weekend, or really went public online over the weekend, and I have been in touch with Gabby Petito's family, and GabbyPetitoFoundation.org is the website, and they have, of course, been tweeting out, trying to get as much support behind it. It's going to be aimed towards multiple causes, but really help out the families of missing persons here in this country. I would say that there's going to be a lot of folks out there that are going to say that why would you spend thousands of dollars on a banner plane when we can take those thousands of dollars and put it towards good, as far as good for future causes, as far as the Gabby Petito Foundation. Do you agree? You can let me know here with hashtag HJB, but this isn't the first time I saw this comment here. People asking, why are we spending money on banner planes and not on helping others in this world? Because that's what the family of Gabby Petito wants. And I would ask that to Justin. To Justin Shepard and Justin on TikTok, who helped organize this. Maybe there's a secondary effort that can be underway to, and TikTok can rally once again and provide provide donations for the Gabby Petito Foundation. Justin C, hashtag HJB. Will the public soon have access to the entire unedited interview with Cassie Laundrie? If you've been following me on my WFLAJB Twitter account over the weekend, I called on Good Morning America to release the full unedited interview, the raw interview, and people then sent me all of the clips from the air check, and the air check in TV terms is the raw, like, TV broadcast recording from Good Morning America that morning, and that's not what I was referring to. I meant the camera rolled on that interview with Cassie Laundrie, and I think that the world deserves to see that entire unedited interview. Instead, what we got over the weekend was a modified version of the video report of the story itself, and it added in the question that was asked by the reporter, and it gave us some context as to how Cassie Laundrie was responding to the question when she said that I haven't seen him, in essence, that I haven't seen him. And so she never made specific mention to I haven't seen him since he returned to Florida without Gabby, as was originally reported. And I think that the world still, we did get more from Good Morning America, and I'm very, very glad that we got more from Good Morning America as far as them modifying the story and adding the question from the reporter to give us a full and better contextual understanding as to what Cassie Laundrie, Brian's sister, was referring to in that moment. But we still to this day don't have the full, raw, unedited interview, and we probably never will at this stage of where we are. But I appreciate, Justin, you following up here. Shelby Newheisel, hashtag HJB. What's the newest update on Cassie? Well, the only updates that we're getting on the Laundrie family right now are from Stephen Bertolino, the attorney, and more than any other day, perhaps since this began, we haven't heard from Stephen Bertolino. By now, usually reporters' phones are buzzing, and we're hearing more from Brian Laundrie's attorney, Stephen Bertolino. Today just hasn't been one of those days, and I wonder if that is deliberate, or if there's just we have a little bit of a lapse here as far as communication with Bertolino. But it is Monday, and I know from talking to my colleagues here at WFLA that people have been reaching out to Stephen Bertolino for additional comment and perspective, and any updates here on what's been happening here with Brian Laundrie, but it's been radio silence from Stephen Bertolino today. We'll take one more here. Oh wow, Colby Hanks, hashtag HJB. I wonder if the Laundries are watching your broadcast live. I don't know. There's no way for us to really know if they're watching. I'd be very just curious to know, have they looked outside their front door, or have they looked outside their front window here, or just peeked through the blinds there to see what the banner plane is all about here, because the banner plane, hey, Justin Rogers is still on the phone and he's listening. So Justin, who's again the photojournalist providing us with the live feed here, he just kind of zoomed in and it caught the attention of my gaze on the touchscreen here. And Justin, hey, I'm gonna maybe ask you to put like a thumbs up in front of the camera or a thumbs down in front of the camera. Give me a thumbs. Have you seen any activity here on the ground from the laundries peeking outside of their front window here or from the front door here since the banner plane started flying out around the house? Give me a thumbs up if yes, thumbs down if no. That's a no. Okay, everybody, there's Justin Rogers here for us and providing us with an answer. So no peeking through the blinds that he has seen or no activity that would lead us to believe that the laundries have seen the banner plane here. Again, organized by TikTok, but there is, again, one more time, a live picture here from outside of the home. And again, just a salute to Justin Rogers, who's been doing a phenomenal job over the last several weeks, is providing us with these images here from Northport, Florida. All right, folks, appreciate it. I don't know if the laundries are watching the broadcast live. All I do know is that there is a banner plane that's going to be flying for about another hour, maybe a little bit less than another hour here, and it says Justice for Gabby, TikTok, time's up. Few developments here today. The search continues at Carlton Reserve, but it's a fraction of the size that it once was at the Carlton Reserve here. So whether or not we do get any updates here in the hours, days ahead, of course, we'll keep you posted on WFLA.com and the WFLA app. Facebook, Instagram still down, so I can't go live on Facebook and Instagram, I think. Or is Facebook back up? Let's just look here real quick. Hey guys, is Facebook back up? Well, you go to Facebook.com and it's still down, so Facebook is still down. So I can't go live on Facebook or on Instagram or any of those platforms right now just because they're experiencing widespread service outages here, but appreciate all of you joining us here. I'll try to get to some more #HeyJB comments here. You can follow me at WFLAJB here on Twitter here, folks. If there's any significant developments here in the Brian Laundrie Gabby Petito story, something that you need to know about, something that we can report here for you, on WFLA.com, the WFLA app, we're back here live on WFLA Now like that. Really quickly, we can be back here with you live across all platforms, provided that Facebook, of course, is back up and running. So if there's any new developments, keep it right here to WFLA Now, and we'll keep you posted as to the very latest, and we'll continue, of course, to stay rooted in fact and separate fact from fiction based on the #HeyJB and other hashtag questions and comments that we have in. Also, on WFLA.com, the WFLA app, the latest on Gabby Petito, Brian Laundrie, our article hub lives here as well. So if you want to read the latest, and we do have updates here on this story that we have been unable to get to on this stream, you can find it on WFLA.com and the WFLA app. I think that there's also a link in the description here on this YouTube live, so you can head over to the description here and it'll take you over to WFLA.com and the WFLA app as well. Big thanks to Justin Rogers, Masa Saidi for joining us here, as well as Paul Lamison from Eagle ADHD. Read the latest on WFLA.com, the WFLA app. I'm JB Buno. We'll be back here live on WFLA Now with any updates on Gabby Petito